Hi there, I'm Robert Bryant with Bryant Premier Woodworking. Today I'm going to walk you through how to build an epoxy resin bowl. Not seen in this video is making the form and mixing up the liquid glass epoxy, but anyway, the first step would be to make that form, get your wood prepped, and then pour the epoxy and let it cure. Next we ran this piece through the jet drum sander to smooth it out. Then we trimmed it to width using the table saw. Give it a clean end by cutting it with the chop saw. Then we set up the miter sled on the table saw and cut the blanks to length. I'm building 10 of these and I find it easiest if you just do each step for all 10 right as you go for production. Next we took the blank and put it in the Nova chuck inside the coal jaws. Then we grabbed the Rikon CI0 carbide cutting tool. Started turning the blank on the lathe, creating the shape. Now, one thing to note when turning resin, make sure you have the RPMs up around 1900 to 2000, as you will get chip out if you're going slower and it'll catch. You also want to make sure you're using a carbide tool instead of just a regular high-speed steel tool. Once we got the shape we liked, I grabbed the drill with the power sanding attachment, and then we started sanding the inside of the bowl, going up through the grits from 120 all the way up to 600 and wiping the bowl clean between sanding grits. Next we grabbed the Mirka Deros orbital sander, and I like this setup mainly because it uses the Abernet sandpaper, which allows the sanding system to suck the dust right up through the sander. So you can see me using the sander in this video here, ultimately dust free. Does a really great job of cutting through the material fast and getting that smooth surface without a lot of pigtails and swirls. Make sure you're taking a rag and wiping down between grits, removing that extra dust. The more you keep it clean, the sandpaper can work without binding up that material in the sandpaper and creating those pigtails. So like I said, use a wet rag. It lifts the grain, it helps you get it smoother faster and gives you that look that you want. Keep working up through the grits. Do not skip grits. It'll save you time if you just keep working up through them. It's tedious, but you'll get through it. Next we took the bowl and ran it through the router, putting an 1/8 inch round over on all the edges, giving it kind of a smooth feel when you pick it up. After I got this routered, I hand sanded it to 400 and 600 grit, and then I gave it one more once over with the orbital sander with a 400 grit, and it was ready for finish. When finishing, make sure you get the bowl very clean. I like to take mineral spirits and wipe it down and make sure you get all the dust off the bowl. I decided to use a new finish to me. It's Odie's oil. Checking them out online. I really like how the finish turned out. The directions say to stir this product very well and make sure it's all cohesively mixed together, and then what you're going to do is just take a very little portion of the product and rub it in with the 3M white pad. You can see I'm doing this here. It does not take a lot of product to finish this bowl, especially with the resin. The resin doesn't take hardly any, but anyway, you want to rub it in very well into the grain and into any little void in the wood itself. Then after 45 minutes to 2 hours, you want to come back with a cotton cloth or a cotton terry cloth and buff off any remaining material that's left on the wood that hasn't soaked in or penetrated. You can see all the bowls are now done, finished and buffed. The finish turned out extremely well. I'm very happy with how the product worked for finishing the resin and both the wood. Leave any comments or questions down below. Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe and like us on Facebook. We'll see you next time.